Hi, my name is Dave Kim, and thanks for dropping by to check out what I'm drawing, along with listening to me talk about stuff. I wanted to post videos of me drawing for a while, but didn't really have much to talk about while the drawing was going on. Plus, if I'm being honest, I don't really think a lot while I'm drawing. It's more of this Zen type of thing where I just turn my thoughts off and try to be in the moment. So a buddy of mine actually suggested that I just talk about whatever I want and see how it goes from there. So here we are. To be honest, there were so many thoughts swirling in my head that I wanted to talk about, but I want to talk a minute about my dad, since he's the reason why I'm doing this particular drawing here to begin with. My dad was diagnosed with lung cancer in 2018 and would later pass away in September of 2019. You know, obviously that diagnosis was a punch in the mouth, and as a way to deal with it at the time, I decided to do a small fundraiser by selling some drawings to donate some money to American Cancer Society. I didn't tell anyone why I was doing it, but just that I was doing it. That first run actually went pretty well, and I was able to donate a decent amount that year. This is my third year in a row doing it, and it's been going really well. Just absolutely floored me to receive all of this love and support, and for all the folks who donated, they'd share their stories with me, which I just found to be simply amazing. Just such a privilege to be able to shoulder that load with them so that none of us were alone in dealing with our pain. I focused the fundraiser on Lent since I've been doing daily drawings as my way of dedicating time to spend with God, and it also proved to be the best way to honor my dad. All throughout the time of his receiving treatment, his concerns were always on the senior citizens they helped take care of at the senior center that he worked at. Even the day before he went to the hospital for that last time. That morning he first went to work to make sure that all his peoples were doing okay. For all the tough things that he had to endure in his life, he always did his best to ensure that no one else would have to go through what he did if he could help it. And it's that same spirit that he passed on to me that inspired me to first do this. I know that I can't change all the things going wrong in the world right now, but I'm going to do my best so that hopefully one day other people don't have to go through what our family did. I know that one day I'm going to die. But before that day comes, I plan on leaving this place a little bit better than when I first got here. To be honest, I thought I was going to talk about how much I love my air fryer and how every home needs one, along with all the amazing things you can prepare with it. Yeah, seriously, the fact that it can revive cold French fries to a hot and crispy state alone is worth the price of admission. But we can talk about that next time. Or I will talk about that next time. The next few videos are actually from this past fundraiser that I did this year. And speaking of which, thank you so much to everyone who participated in this run with me. We were able to put together $1,800, which cleared last year's donation of $1,200. As a quick tangent, I'm currently a senior data analyst at my company, and initially started out working in the call center operations because I just needed to make rent while I was working on getting my career as a comic book artist off the ground. Almost 16 years later, I'm still at the same company, and I'm not a comic book artist. But it's something else to stop for a moment and look at that wild road I was on to arrive at this very moment. Yeah, well, it would have been cool to draw Batman or X-Men for a living. But I get to do this humble work of donating to something greater than myself. Funny enough, while I would consider this Christian art, the things that I love and are heavily influenced by do come out in my drawings. It's a lot of fun to put Christian art out there as a guy who loves anime, comic books, and graffiti art, amongst other things. I feel like it's very authentically me. Speaking of which, this drawing is of St. John Paul II, and I actually visited his hometown of Krakow, Poland back in 2016 during the World Youth Day. If you're unfamiliar with World Youth Day, it's a cute Catholic youth rally held every few years where Catholics from all over the world convene to meet each other and pray together. The event's climax is Mass with the Pope, which at that particular event was attended by approximately 2 million people. So given the amount of people who would attend, everyone has to go to a place large enough to hold that many people. So The plan is always you have to head out the day before, and there's this huge field where 2 million people, where it can house 2 million, not house. So on the itinerary, you have to head out the day before, and it takes about, how long did it take us? It took us about 90 minutes to walk from the major residential area to the campground so that we could all spend the night and have Mass in the morning with Pope Francis. So that night, we were praying, and we did Eucharistic adoration, and there was a moment of silence where I opened my eyes for just a brief moment and took a look around, and you could hear a pin drop. And there was something about the atmosphere that you knew that God was there. I turned to my buddy next to me, and while motioning to the crowd, I said, "Yo, you cannot tell me that this isn't real." And he emphatically nodded, then told me to be quiet. As I learned about St. John Paul II, I became a huge fan. Was he perfect? Of course not. He made mistakes, and some he's been highly criticized for, considering what his role was while he was alive. That being said, he also did some amazing things. So, by the way, I think it's insane that we as a society would only consider someone's mistakes and cancel out all the good that they brought to the table. Now, don't hear what I'm not saying. The good does not erase the bad. But we as people need to judge and love appropriately first. Yeah, I'll probably talk about this more in depth later, but I know I want to talk about air fryers first. In any case, thanks again for dropping by and showing some love. I'll talk to you later.